Hey, what's up everybody, I'm Charlie, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my delicious New Orleans Creole Jambalaya. Jambalaya is a Louisiana Creole dish of Spanish and French influence, and it traditionally consists of a sausage such as andouille, along with other meat or seafood, especially pork, chicken, or shrimp. My jambalaya is 100% from scratch, and it also has shrimp, andouille smoked sausage, and Tasso pork, a highly seasoned ham that's going to give this jambalaya an extraordinary flavor. And we also add tomatoes to this. Now, some people like to add chicken into their jambalaya. Me personally, I don't add chicken into my jambalaya, nor does my family add chicken to their jambalaya. Okay? Now, how do we create this popular New Orleans classic? We first start off by sauteing our onion, celery, bell pepper, and garlic. Then we add our Tasso pork and andouille smoked sausage, followed by an additional amount of onion, celery, bell pepper, and garlic, along with our diced tomatoes and my favorite blend of New Orleans seasonings, which includes herbs and spices. Then we let that simmer and let all those flavors build. Then we add our shrimp, rice, and stock, and we let it cook all the way down until the rice is cooked. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Creole Jambalaya, made only the way a New Orleans native can. And today I'm going to be showing you step by step on how to make this delicious, popular New Orleans classic. So let's get started. Okay, this is all what you're going to need to make your jambalaya, and we're going to get started with our ingredients. You're going to need any type of long grain rice. I'm using jasmine rice for this recipe. And along with that, you're going to need 1.5 to 2 pounds of fresh Louisiana shrimp, 1 pound of andouille smoked sausage, and 1/2 pound of hickory smoked Tasso pork. And this is basically a highly seasoned ham that we're going to be using for this recipe. Okay? And you're also going to need some unsalted butter, 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And as you can see, it's no salt added, and the reason why is because by us already having salt coming from our andouille smoked sausage and our Tasso pork, and also by us already adding our own additional seasonings, we don't need the extra salt for this recipe. Okay? And for our seasonings, you're going to need 1 yellow onion, bell pepper, celery, garlic, some fresh thyme, bay leaves, and some green onion. And for our additional seasonings, you're going to need some Zatarain's Creole seasoning. Now, if you don't have this, you can use the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, or either Slap Your Mama Creole seasoning. Okay? And along with that, you're going to need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood and Portrait Magic, some paprika, and some cayenne pepper. And this is optional if you want to use this for this recipe, just in case if you want your jambalaya to be a little spicy. Okay? And there we have it. Let's get straight to it. We're going to get started by chopping up 1 yellow onion. Rinse your celery off thoroughly before you chop it. And we're going to chop about 3 to 4 stalks of celery. Now we're going to get started with our bell pepper. Make sure you remove the core out of the center of your bell pepper before you chop it. And we're going to chop that up. And you're going to chop up about 4 cloves of garlic. And we're going to chop a bunch of green onion. And make sure you chop up the ends of your green onion as well. Here we have some thyme leaves. You want to remove the leaves off the stem. You could simply pick them off. Or you could just take your fingers and you could just glide the leaves off. And there we have it. That's about 1.5 tablespoons. And we're going to take that and we're going to chop that up really fine until it resembles coarse crumbs, like what I have here. We're going to chop up 1 pound of our andouille smoked sausage. Here we have our Tasso ham. We're just going to chop this up into miniature bite-sized cubes. And there we have it. And this is how it's going to look when we're done. Okay, about that size right there. And we're going to take our diced tomatoes and we're just going to drain the juice out of there. And there you go. Here we have our shrimp. We're going to remove the head off of the shrimp. And we're going to place that into a bowl. And we're going to peel the shell off of the shrimp tail.
And we're going to place the shell into the bowl with the shrimp head, and we're going to place the shrimp tail into a separate bowl. Alright, and here we have our shrimp tails and our shrimp heads and shell. Now as you can see, there's a dark line going along the back of the shrimp. We're going to remove that. So we're going to take a sharp knife and we're going to cut along the back of the shrimp. And as you can see, there's a dark string. We're going to pull that string out. And there you go. Now we're going to take our shrimp and we're going to add them into a strainer. And we're going to rinse this off thoroughly with cold water. And there we have it. Here we have our shrimp that's been peeled clean and deveined. We're going to set that on the side, and we're going to bring in our bowl with our shrimp heads and shell. And we're going to make a shrimp stock with this. So let's get started with that. We're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat. In our small pot, we're going to add 1.5 quarts of water. Now we're going to add a little seasoning. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of Zatarain's Creole seasoning and 1 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Seafood Magic. Going to stir that. Now we're going to add our shrimp heads and shells into our water. And we're going to stir that in. Now we're going to cover this, and we're going to let this simmer for 1 hour. It's been about 1 hour now, and our shrimp stock is now done. Now we're going to go ahead and turn our fire off, and we're going to drain our shrimp stock into a mesh strainer with a large bowl underneath it. We're going to take our shrimp heads and shells, and you can discard that now. And there we have it, shrimp stock, nice and hot, ready to go. Now we're going to do a taste test, and it's good. Now we're going to get started with our jambalaya. We're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat. Okay, so in a large saucepan, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Going to spread that around our pan. And we're going to let this butter melt. Now that we have that nice and melted, we're going to add 1 cup of your chopped yellow onion. And remember the ends to your green onion that I told you to chop. You're going to add a 1/2 cup of that in there. A 1/2 cup of your chopped green bell pepper. A 1/2 cup of your chopped celery. And 2 tablespoons of your chopped garlic. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to let this saute for about 11 minutes. Been about 11 minutes now, and as you can see, our seasonings is now turning into a nice toasty brown color. Now we're going to go ahead and add our Tasso ham. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to cover this, and we're going to let this saute for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now at some point during those 4 to 5 minutes, you want to stir your ingredients together. Alright, it's been about 4 to 5 minutes now. Stir ingredients. Add 1/2 cup of tomato sauce. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to go ahead and season this. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of Zatarain's Creole seasoning, 1 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Poetry Magic, 1 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Seafood Magic, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and optional, which I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to add our our andouille smoked sausage. Stir all ingredients together. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of shrimp stock. And we're going to mix that in. Add a half a cup of our chopped yellow onion, a half a cup of our chopped celery, a half a cup of our chopped bell pepper, 2 tablespoons of our chopped garlic. We're going to add our diced tomatoes and 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme. Mix all ingredients together. We're going to add 3 bay leaves. Add a half a cup of green onion. Mix all ingredients together. Now what we want to do here is we want to bring all of those flavors together. That's exactly what we're doing. We're just building on flavor. We're going to cover this and we're going to let this saute for about 10 minutes. Now at some point during those 10 minutes you want to stir your ingredients, okay? You're going to do this about 2 to 3 times. It's been about 10 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and stir this. Very important that you stir your ingredients for your jambalaya, especially at this stage. Now we're going to add our shrimp. And we're going to stir all ingredients together. Now this is optional at this point. You can go ahead and add a little bit more seasoning. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of Zatarain's Creole seasoning, a half a teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Seafood Magic, a half a teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Poultry Magic, a half a teaspoon of paprika, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to turn our fire from medium high to medium low heat. Add 2 cups of rice. Stir all ingredients together. Add 3 1/2 cups of shrimp stock. Stir all ingredients together. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let this simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes, and make sure your fire is on a medium low heat.
Now while that's going, let me go ahead and tell you a quick story. Growing up, I used to like jambalaya only when my family used to make it. They would add shrimp, smoked sausage, and ham. But the crazy thing is that when I was in school, and even when I worked at a few restaurants, they would make the jambalaya with the chicken in it. And I personally never really cared for it. I didn't like it for some reason. But I always liked when I used to make jambalaya, or my family used to make jambalaya. So, yeah. But it just shows the difference between the at-home cooks in New Orleans and the actual cooks that's in the restaurant, you know. Everybody cooked jambalaya in different ways. You know, they add, some people add chicken, some people add shrimp, some people add smoked sausage. I mean, it's just different, you know. And you know, me, I personally don't like the chicken jambalaya. I don't really like it. Yeah, but I do like my shrimp and my smoked sausage and my ham. Good. And that's it.
It's been about 20 minutes now, and as you can see, that stock has been totally absorbed by the rice. And our Creole jambalaya is now done. Now we're going to do a taste test to see if the rice is all the way cooked. And it is done. And we're going to serve this Creole jambalaya nice and hot. Now we're going to remove our bay leaves before serving. Now let's serve up a bowl. Take a nice little scoop of that and add that onto our serving dish. I'm going to take another scoop and add that onto our serving dish. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Creole Jambalaya made from scratch by a New Orleans native. Thanks for watching.
Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Ain't nothing like your local hometown food. Love it. Go ahead and have a scoop here. Cheers. Woo woo. Fun stuff. Man, you can taste those flavors. You can taste that onion, that celery, that bell pepper, that garlic that was nice and caramelized. You can taste the smokiness of the andouille smoked sausage and the Tasso ham. You can taste that powerful flavor of shrimp along with those New Orleans seasonings and herbs and spices. Damn, I'm telling you, my hometown New Orleans, we have some of the best food ever. Alright? I'm telling you, it is good. So try the recipe, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Creole Jambalaya made from scratch by a New Orleans native. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to my channel so you can enjoy all of my delicious recipes cooked right here in my kitchen. If you have any questions or comments, please post them, or you can email me at charliethecookandrews@gmail.com. You can also contact me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/charliethecookandrews. You can also check out this recipe along with all of my other recipes at www.charliethecookandrews.webs.com. And if you want to donate to the channel, check out the links in the description box and it'll take you step by step on how to donate. So, until next time, take care and I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye bye.